Hello, I am Jamie D, and this class is what I call Vinyasa flow for the core sheath. So as we work through the different movements, the intention is to get deep into the center of our core, the sheath of our central being, and hopefully be able to feel more in touch with the midline of the body. The class is actually could be two different classes. The first part of the class will be the slide and glide movement of Satya, and that will prepare the hips and the spine for the second half of the class, which is a vinyasa flow for the core. So much of it is close to the floor on the mat. Few props are needed, surprisingly. And with that being said, we'll get started. So have your mat, if you do use your mat, covered by a blanket, or you can also just lie on a carpeted floor because you want to be able to move and slide. So allow yourselves to be on your back, and then just take time to feel yourself settle. Especially if you have a firm surface underneath you, feel the way your back body is touching the surface. And allow your mind to keep noticing the sensations of your surface touching the surface. And start to notice your breath. And start to lengthen the time it takes to inhale. Pulling in a little more breath, possibly, and noticing the length of time it takes to exhale. And then try to coordinate the inhale with the exhale by doing a little mental count and matching the counts between inhale and exhale. So possibly counting to 5 on an inhale. Reversing that count, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on the exhale. Take a few more moments. And then we'll start by moving the legs. So have your feet centered about hip width distance apart. Keep your left foot relaxed. Keep your upper torso relaxed. Palms can be facing up. As you inhale, pull your right toes towards you as you reach the right heel away. Whole leg stays on the floor or mat. Just get longer on the right side. And then when you exhale, nice and slow, release the action. Keep going a couple more times on the right. Inhale, just stretch, get longer on the right. Exhale, release. And notice too, as you exhale, inhale, get longer on the right, your left hip might slide up a little bit. And release. Go to the left side. So when you inhale, pull your left toes towards you, reach that left heel, long on the left. And nice and slow release. Couple more times exploring the left. So really no right way, wrong way, just keep your leg on the floor. Stretch, maybe more with the big toe side, more with the pinky toe side. And then we'll go back and forth. So inhale, lengthen through the right. Exhale, soften. Inhale, lengthen the left. So you'll bobble the head possibly a little bit side to side. And notice just a slight shifting of the pelvis, not up and down, but noticing it sliding on the blanket. Good. And release back to center. Feel any tingles between your legs and hips. Reach your arms in front so you can see your hands. Interlace your fingers. And now turn so your palms are reaching away from you. And then start to let your arms go overhead, overhead, overhead. Noticing if you need to stop because of impingement on your shoulders, you can bend your arms. Otherwise, if you can, let your hands touch down. Reach your heels away, both at the same time, and get long from both sides of your body. So my heels are coming off the mat. Reach those arms, reach those legs. How long can you get? And then exhale, release, and let go of that action. Arms come down by your sides. And now bend your knees. So adjusting again, feet hip width distance apart. Shoulder blades slightly tucked underneath you. Palms down. Take an inhale and lift your lower back away from the mat. Just lift and tilt your pelvis away. Then when you exhale, everything stays down and start to press your low back down into the mat. Pelvis curls up. Slightly inhale, lift and arch the low back, tilt your pelvis. Exhale, press your spine. So make sure you take a look if you're unsure of the movement, because this isn't a lifting of the pelvis into a bridge. It's a rocking of the pelvis, which is so important for the spine undulation. So now as you lift your pelvis, tuck your chin down. Exhale, lower your pelvis, lift your chin up. Spinal undulation 1. Lift, tuck your chin. Exhale, lift your chin, press your spine. So a few more like this. Feel some massaging happen in the neck when you tuck your chin down. Don't make it feel choky. See if you can feel like you're massaging the nodes in your neck. Good. Up you go. And then back into neutral. Good. Separate your feet a little bit. And then keep your left foot down on the mat, but bring your right knee up in towards you. Hold on top of that right knee and just up towards the lower right leg. Give it a little massage as you squeeze that thigh in slightly towards your belly. And then release. So we're going to take it into some little hip circles. So pretend like there's a pencil on your knee. Make a little circle with your knee, one direction. Kind of making a circle on the ceiling. You can make your circles bigger. See if you can get the hip moving out more to the side. So you're getting a pretty big hip circle here. Move your hands in a place so you can support yourself. Try to keep the other foot nice and firm on the floor. Once you get a nice big hip circle and that knee is down, switch directions, big hip circle other way. Come up and around and over and down, nice and big as you go from bigger to smaller. So make the circle a little bit smaller as you take it around. And then that foot can come down. Take it to the other side, lift that foot up, and then start with a small circle. So you move that pencil over to this side and start making a circle on this side. Notice that the circles probably aren't the same as the other side, if you can see them on your ceiling. Making them bigger. Nice and big. And then stop as your leg is out. And then reverse. Nice and big reverse. Take it around. Again, going from bigger to smaller this time. Take it around. And then you can let that foot go down onto the mat. Good. Let both legs go long. Turn your palms up. Close your eyes and just feel sensations again. Notice where you're feeling them. Good. Bring your feet fairly close to one another. So arms are going to be a little more out to the sides. This time, still working with the hips. Take an inhale and let your right foot slide up the inside of your left leg. Your right knee's bending, but it's not lifting. It's just bending as that foot slides up. And then take it back down. Whew, pretty big stretch for the right hip. Stay on this side. Slide that foot up. Keep the knee out to the side and down. Again, take it up with the knee out to the side. And now this time you're going to lift the knee up so your foot's flat on the floor. Slide your foot down. Half circle here. Take the knee out to the side. Foot comes to the floor and down. Notice any clickety clacks. I say that just because I can hear mine. This time you can take your foot over across your knee over across the midline and then slide your foot down. So you're getting almost a full circle here. Knee goes out, comes up, over, and down. 2 more times. Try to keep your shoulders nice and firm. Feel a twisting action happen as you keep the upper body firm without feeling too much tension in the neck. Good. And then let that leg go down. Whew. Soften. Notice. Keep your right leg straight. And then bend your left knee. Keep your knee down on the floor, but let that left foot slide up the inside of your right leg. And then keep that knee onto the floor if you can as you slide it back down. Check in. Is this your tight side? See if that knee, like mine, wants to pop up instead of go out. So taking it slower makes you notice some of those little things. And then you can find those little spots that are tight and causing that. All right, this time you're going to take that knee out, bring it up, facing up, foot flat, half circle, slide your foot down. Inhale, take the knee out to the side, take it up and down. Again, take it out to the side, This time, take it up and over and down. 2 like this. Take it out and over and down. Make it feel good if you can. Good. And down and release it. Ah. Arms slightly down by your sides. Take a moment again. And now roll onto your right side. So roll onto your right side. Excuse me, take your right arm up and overhead. You might need to prop your head up. You can place something underneath your head on top of your arm. Otherwise, you can just take your head onto the arm. And then extend your legs long to start with. You can keep your bottom knee bent for balance. Otherwise, stack feet, stack legs, head on arm, and then take your top hand up and over. Hold on to your left hand with your right wrist and lengthen on your right side. So trying to keep your ears as much as you can in between your arms as you reach that right leg longer than the left. Right shoulder is lengthening up. So picture the expansion between each rib as you're breathing in and lengthening out. Good. Release. Stay on your side. Keep that. Actually, you're going to take that arm in front if you need to, and it's quite nice. Prop your head. So your right hand is on the floor, palm up, bend your knees. Knees are stacked, one on top of the other. And then bent, so you've got an L-shaped pattern between your knees and legs. Place your hands one on top of the other, so they're extending out from your shoulders. Head should be relaxed. So the top hand is going to, on an inhale, reach past the bottom hand. So you're just lengthening your shoulder, reach it away. And now keep inhaling. Let that arm start to make its way up, 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 up. Keep your knees stacked. That arm goes up. You can turn your head, follow your hand with your gaze. Roll into the twist as you take that arm down to the other side. So supporting your head, making sure you don't feel any strain in your neck as you try to get that left shoulder over onto the floor. Take a moment and relax your shoulders and upper body and jaw. Use your inhale. Let that top arm start to come off the floor. Left arm comes off the floor. Reach it, reach it, reach it. Exhale. Let that arm come down. Hands touch. Use your inhale. Reach the arm away as you take it back up. Once it gets to the top, you can start your exhale and roll it into the twist. Start your inhale, come back up. Follow your gaze, your hand with your gaze. Exhale, take it down. One more time. Inhale, reach it. Up you go. Exhale. As you take it back. Again, inhale. Bring it back up. And down you go. Now, you can keep your legs here or see if you can extend your legs straight, possibly grabbing your feet with your hands. So as you come into your side lying Paschimottanasana, you'll see this again. Come forward for your capacity. So Support your head, tuck it in. And then again, if you'd like a nice deep twist, you could release your left hand, start to take it over. Ooh, here we go. Let it roll, shoulder goes down as you twist it with legs straight. Linger as you are in the twist for a moment or 10 or 20. And then when you come back, bring it back up and coming back down. Good. So now bend your knees. You're going to start to press and turn your chest as you extend your right leg long. Your left knee is going to stay bent in the spot where it's at. You're going to reach your right leg down long, and then you're going to roll onto your belly. So your hips are going to go first. Tuck the toes under on that right leg, and then start to reach back so you can adjust your pelvis, adjusting your forearms so that the elbows are under the shoulders, and then the left knee is bent out from the hip. This might be pretty intense right here, so adjust accordingly. Grab what you might need. Take the leg down lower if you need to. Otherwise, see if you can find a place for that leg where you can get a good sensation right in the flexion area of your hip. Reach that knee out a little bit maybe and press into your toes. Press your pubic bone down. Hold here. And then engage as if you were trying to reach your belly button forward and up. Start to, if you'd like, adventure your torso over to your left, towards your bent knee. Coming here. And then you could also start to let your head come down. Reach your right arm long. Tuck your right toes under and reach your right heel away. Nice full belly breaths here. And start to release, relax your leg. Bring that hand back. Press up gently as you move your torso back into the center. Extend your leg long. And then allow your legs to relax, feet to relax, forehead down. Pause here. Feel the breath in your belly. Just feeling the effects of the movements that you just did on the one side. Because now you're going to roll onto the other side. So roll onto your left side. Make sure you've got your head support. And then bend your knees to start with, just to get yourself established on your side. You want to try to get your shoulders stacked one on top of the other, as well as your hips, the femur bones. You want to get these long bones stacked one on top of the other, and then adjust so that your head is supported. Take your left arm out, left palm is up, and then right hand is on top of your left hand. So as you're stacked, your knees are stacked, your feet are stacked, and we will do our lengthening before we end because I forgot to do our side body stretch, but we will do that. So now you're going to inhale, reach that right arm away, lengthen it up. Take your inhale, and then you're going to start to open up into your twist as you take your right shoulder down and extend that arm out. Hold it here for a moment. Feel the twist in your belly and torso. As you come back, use your inhale. Let that right arm start to come up. Reach it up and then use your exhale as you let that right arm come down. Stack your right hand on top of your left. Inhale, reach that right arm away as you sweep it up. Come into your stack position, reach it up, exhale, come into the twist. So use your head as you use your gaze. So turn your head as you move your arm. So when you inhale, watch your arm come back up. Reach it up. Follow your hand with your gaze as you take that hand back down. Do one more. And then come to stay on your side. See if you can extend both legs long. Possibly grabbing onto your feet with your hands. So side lying again. Try not to let your elbows splay out. Try to keep your feet fairly close to one another. Curl your chest towards your thighs. You'll feel this in your hamstrings. Good. And now put that bend in your knees. You're going to take your right knee to the floor. Extend your left leg out long as you roll onto your belly. Again, side two. So here you go. This time your right knee is out. Tuck your toes under on that left leg and extend out through your left heel so you can really lengthen the left thigh. So you're trying to lengthen the left thigh and then adjust your right thigh so that you feel as if your hips are in sync with one another. Prop up onto your elbows and then coming into your Bhujangasana, Cobra variation. Sense that your navel is lengthening and reaching towards the sky. So I still have action through that back heel. Start your little excursion over towards the right this time. So trying to get those left ribs down as you take your chest a bit towards that bent knee. Now the right elbow is going to stay slightly bent. Reach your left arm. You can extend that left heel, forehead down, and lengthen it out through the whole left side. Really get that super long reach. Use your breath. Feel every little muscle between the ribs get a bit more stretch. Good. Bring it back. Bring your torso back. Extend that leg back out. Keep your legs long. Extend your left arm long and then roll onto your left side again. Stack your legs one on top of the other. Have your left palm up and then reach your right arm over. Hold on to your right wrist with your left hand. You can put a little bend in your left knee for stability. Otherwise, stack your feet, reach your heels, and then lengthen out through the right side of your body. How long can you get through that right side? Try not to topple. Wobbling is good. Good. And then go ahead and release that action. Come onto your backs. Let your legs go long. Arms are slightly out to the sides. Close your eyes. Sense and feel Any difference between right side, left side? So now bend your knees. Place your feet about hip width distance apart. Interlace your fingers in. Place your hands behind your head. And then press your elbows down into your blanket support or whatever you've got yourselves on as you inhale. And then exhale, release that. Inhale, press your elbows. Exhale, release. Again, inhale, press. And release. So now when you inhale and press your elbows, lift your low back away from the mat. Lift your spine, press your elbows. Exhale, press your spine down, lift your head, squeeze your elbows close to one another, coming up. Inhale, slowly descend. Press your elbows, lift your low back. You can look up and then exhale, press and come up. Spinal undulation 2. Feel it as you go slow. So don't rush it. Don't use momentum. Use the control that you have with the breath and the muscles. Nice and slow going down. And coming up. So now this time, when you go down, let your elbows open, let your knees go wide, lift your spine, press your elbows. Woo, here we go. Exhale, bring your knees up, bring your elbows in, press your low back. So you're like a butterfly. Open your thighs, open your elbows. Exhale, come up. Really fill the bellows of your belly and lungs. A couple more. So really feel the movement of your extremities synchronize off of midline and then returning back. Good. Come down with your head. Come down with your arms. Relax your legs. And here, let yourself relax. So that can be a class in itself, incorporating the movement of Satya. And we will continue on as we move into our Vinyasa flow for the core. So I'm going to take the blanket off of the mat. And just take it into a fold. Off to the side. So here we go. Come onto your backs again. Bend your knees. And just again, if you did the Vinyasa or if you did the Satya work, take a moment to feel your spine, feel your hips, and especially notice the area where your thighs and your torso come together. These muscles get so short and tight. As we move into this Vinyasa, we will be strengthening these and finding new movements for them. So let's take it into our Supta Sukhasana. Bend your knees and cross your ankles at the lower legs. So from here, you might need a strap. If not, you can curl up and grab onto the feet. So with your hands, the palms of your hands are going to take the soles of your feet, and then allow your head to go back down. Prop it up if you need to. Otherwise, Let your head go down, relax your jaw, relax your neck, and then crossing the lower legs, let your tailbone and sacrum sink down into the mat to start with. See how, if you can get your feet out towards the thighs. So rather than having your feet way in or way out, you want to try to keep your feet somewhat in line with their opposite thigh. And then you can start to bring your elbows into a bend so that your knees are coming in a little closer to your underarms. It should be an outer hip experience. Notice if you're tensing someplace that you don't need to. And then relax, change the cross, reach up and grab. When your head goes down, try to keep your tailbone down to start with. So if you have long arms, that's helpful. Otherwise, you can use a strap. So trying to get those feet not skitty-wampus. You want to try and keep them somewhat in line with the opposite thigh. Then you can bend your elbows, start to bring those thighs in closer to you. Ooh, hello. As they come in. Soften the shoulders. Nice. Go ahead and release. Take your feet down. Bring your hands to the mat. Place your feet about hip width distance apart and shimmy your shoulder blades underneath you. So when you take your next inhale, you're going to bring it into a bridge. So start to lift your hips up. Press your heels a little bit more into the mat as you lift your hips up nice and slow. Lower them down, nice and slow. Relax your chest and jaw. Again, lift them slow. Curl your tailbone slightly under as you lift, like you're trying to bring that little scorpion tail closer to you. Come up a little higher, but not too high. And lower it down. Good. One more time. Bringing it up. Lifting. Hold. Hold for a few breaths. Make sure you can move your head and neck. Try not to keep your chin too tight. Try to keep space. And then lower it down. Good. Take your feet off the mat. Bring your knees in towards you, grabbing on either in front of your, on tops of your shins, or you can hold on behind your thighs. Roll a little bit from side to side. And then we're going to take it up and around right into our child's pose. So separating your knees slightly, feet will be fairly close to one another. We won't be here for too long, but let your arms extend, let your hips go back, chest down, forehead down, nice long reach of the fingertips in this child's pose. Press your fingertips so the finger pads are pressing down. And then the palms of your hands are lifting up. So you've got little spiders for hands. So engage the fingers, press them a little more so that you can pretend or isometrically pull your shoulder blades together, like you're trying to pull your fingers, but they're stuck. So your shoulder blades are engaging. Keep that engagement in your shoulders and pull the low belly in. So this is an active child's pose. Take a few more breaths, but keep the action. Pretend like you're trying to pull your mat towards you, but it's stuck. Keep that back body firm. And then soften, come up onto all fours, preparing for downward facing dog. So aim your index fingers towards the top of your mat and then spread your fingers wide. Spread your fingers wide. Press a lot through your thumb and index finger. Knees are separated hip width distance apart. Tuck your toes under. Get a good grip of your toes. Start with just lift your knees up a little bit. Lift and hover, hold. Belly in. Lower your knees. Keep the shoulder blades pulled back and down. Lift and hover. Knees are lifted about 4 inches. Hold. And down. And now we'll take it up into down dog, but slow motion. So start by engaging your shoulders. Lift and hover your knees. Start to press your arms so that your chest is going back towards your thighs. Keep your knees bent. Chest goes back. Now your rear goes up. Chest back, rear up. Chest back, rear up. Knees bent. And now once your chest is back, try to position your head somewhat between your arms as you start to straighten your legs. Keep your heels up. Keep your rear up. Then you can maybe start to stretch it out longer through your sides. And check out your distance. Find a distance that's comfortable for you so you can lengthen out through the arms. Pull the shoulder blades together. Lengthen out through the legs. Take several breaths. To lengthen your side body even more, bend your knees. Reach your sit bones up higher. Keep your sitting bones where they are, but straighten the legs. Drop the heels. Now breathe. Preparing for the more active part of this sequence. All right, coming down, bend your knees and have a seat on your mat. So as we move through this vinyasa flow for the midline, we'll be doing several Navasana poses. So I'm going to work with Navasana and offering modifications so that when we get into the flow, you can use the modification that is working for you today. So Navasana or boat pose is a very strong core building pose. So keep thinking, pulling everything into the midline. So as you work through the midline, pull up through the lowest area in your pelvis, your Mula Bandha. Let that be your central arc of pulling up and in. So start by grabbing onto your thighs, knees are bent, and then your heels are pressing into the mat. Toes are up. And then the main thing you want to keep in mind is a nice long spine. So anything you do that compromises the length of your spine should be backed off. So if you're trying to lift both legs up and your spine is like this, that means keep your legs down to keep your spine like this. So we want to build up the muscles in the sides of your back and in the front of the body so that you can have a healthy spine. That's the main goal here, is to keep your spine healthy. So long spine, lean back, keep your left heel down and reach your right heel up. Hold. Keeping a bend in the knee is a possibility. Keeping the leg a little lower is also possible. So if you find taking it up takes you like this, this is it. Bend that knee, heel down, and change. Pull your toes towards you. Release. Take your legs out long. Lengthen up so that you feel your sit bones underneath you, and then that long spine again. So trying to keep the ears over the hips. Lean forward slightly. Pull those toes towards you. Come on back. Bend your knees. Hold on behind your thighs and lean it back. So here we go. You also have this variation. You can have your heels up off of the mat. So as you hold your heels up, you can again do one leg at a time with the opposite heel up. And then there's always more. Lean back. You can do it with your heels up, letting go. A lot more on the spine. So if you feel pinching in your back or anything, please grab on, hold on, and work with the strengthening that needs to be in place before you start to progress. So strengthen before you progress and lengthen. Otherwise, you could keep your legs slightly bent. Noticing I crunched, I want to try to keep it upright. Then you could let go. So you find your variation as we work through our flow. One more little stretch here before we get going. Take that blanket, roll it up and place it underneath your knees. So we're going to stretch out through the hamstrings a bit more before we start. So with that little bend of your knees, take your hands behind you and press the palms of your hands into the mat and get nice and long through your spine. So keep the length in your spine. Pull your toes towards you. Press your knees slightly into that blanket. Release one hand, place it on the blanket. Other hand, keep the length in your spine. Hold on to that blanket as you hinge forward. So you could take your knees off of that support. What's it going to take to get your chest towards your knees? Maybe with that support, it'll get there, but just kind of softenly, just progressively, incrementally, trying to get your hamstrings to stretch. Relax your shoulders. Good. Bring it back up. Move that blanket. And here we go. We are off. Bend your knees. Come on down to your backs. And let your arms go down by your sides. Extend your legs up. So for you, this might be slightly knee bent, legs a little lower. Otherwise, working towards kind of a 90. And then let your arms go overhead with your palms facing up. Backs of hands are on the floor overhead. So keeping that nice long line, find where you are at in your body. Keep in mind, I have been doing this for quite a while, for years. So this is my go-to. I do this in my home practice. So as you work with your version of your vinyasa, it's all good. Take an inhale, lower the legs down. Exhale, bring them up. Again, you could have one knee bent. Inhale, lower it down. Exhale, bring it back up. One more time. Inhale, legs lower. Exhale, bring it back up. Now we're going to come up to sit. So you're going to bring your arms around, grab onto your thighs, start to curl it up, bring yourselves up, extend your legs out long, and start to hinge forward. Paschimottanasana. Bring your hands down next to your thighs, shoulders soft. Lengthen it out. Come back up. Reach your arms long. Take an inhale. Exhale. Lower it down. Legs go up. Arms go up. You could take your knees, bend them, and extend. Take an inhale. Lower those legs down. Could be one at a time. Exhale up. Inhale, lower. Exhale up. Inhale, lower. Exhale up. This time we're going to come up to sit again. Bring your hands to your thighs. Take an inhale. Exhale, curl up. Lengthen out the legs. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bringing it back up. I'm going to Change the variation so you keep where you're at. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower down. Bend your knees or straight legs up. Arms go back. Inhale, lower the legs. Exhale, bring them back up. Inhale, lower the legs. Exhale, bring them back up. This time, you're going to come up to sit. Either bend your knees, do the rock and roll, or we're going to come up by taking your arms out to the side, lower the legs, bring your torso up, arms come up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring it back up, reach your arms, exhale, lower. Torso lowers, legs go up, arms go back. Inhale, lower, exhale up. Inhale, lower. Exhale up. This time we're coming up into Navasana. You can do it bent knee or bring your arms around. Come on up. Navasana. So if you'd like to see the variation of that with like this, you will bend your knees, bring it up, find your variation of Navasana. So let's start with the legs up, arms up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, bring it up. This time we're coming up Navasana. Inhale, bring it up. Navasana. Option, lower halfway, Ardha. Bring it back up. Bend your knees, drop your heels, reach your arms, lengthen the legs. Bring your hands back in behind, interlace your fingers, and forward fold. Softly gaze down towards your legs. Inhale, bring it back up. Reach your arms forward. Take a pause. Nice full inhale. Exhale, lower down. Legs up, arms up, bend overhead. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. This time, Navasana. So as you come around, whichever variation you choose, embrace the wobble. Come into Navasana. Choose if you'd like. Ardha. Come back up. Bend your knees. Slide it out. Forward fold. You take your hands back and behind. Dive into it. Use your inhale. Bring it up. Exhale, lower down. Legs up, arms up overhead. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. This time, Navasana. Come on up. Take your Ardha. Come on up. Can you find your feet? Soft gaze. So you can let go and lower with your feet down, knees bent, or release, arms up, sing, lift up, forward fold, hands next to your knees, pull your hands, shoulders back, forward fold. Take a few breaths, use your breath to bring yourselves up. Inhale, exhale, dive in. And up we go. Adding on. This time we're going to add on with our halasana. So with that extra forward folding, we're going to take it back into our halasana. So reach your arms, pull your toes back, soft shoulders. Nice inhale. Exhale, lower down. Legs go up, arms go up. Can you take your feet over? Use your hands to your back. first one, take some time to feel it and get in. You can softly bend your knees. Just take several breaths just to explore it. See if you can get your hands up towards your feet. And then we're going to melt it down. So you're going to start to undulate your spine. Let your legs go up. Bend your knees. And then just pause for a moment. Just feel your spine. Because we're going to be putting all of that together. Are you ready? Here we go. Legs go up. Arms go up. Backs of palms face up. Soft jaw. Add a little smile. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. This time up to Navasana. Ardha. Take it back up. And then you can reach your arms up. Lower those legs down. Lengthen, 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 and forward fold. Reverse namaste is a possibility. Hands to feet. Inhale, roll it back up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, up you go. And over, halasana. Couple breaths. Nice big inhale. Exhale, roll it down and up into Navasana. Ardha. Navasana. Lower those legs, lift those arms, lengthen, 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 and dive it in. Inhale, come back up. One more. Nice big breath. Inhale. Exhale, lower it down. Legs go up, arms go over. Let's inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale, Navasana. Lower the legs, reach the arms. Exhale, dive in. Inhale, reach up. Reach those arms. Exhale, lower. Legs go up all the way. Halasana. 2 breaths. Exhale, melt your spine down. Relax your arms. Bend your knees. Place your feet on the mat. Separate your feet. Bring your knees together. Let your arms be in a soft spot by your sides. And take a moment. Feel the effects of the vinyasa. Feel the heart rate, the breath, the stimulation. Feel the effects on the muscles. So you can grab your blanket roll, place it underneath your knees as you bring yourself into Shavasana. First, extend your left leg out long over that blanket and bring your right knee into your chest. Just feel the release in the sacrum, low back. Let your shoulders be heavy. Let your face be soft. And switch legs. Opposite knee comes in. Relax. Pull that leg in. Let that leg be long. Give yourself one more full body stretch. So really, really stretch your arms overhead. Interlace your fingers if you'd like. Reach your heels. And then release. Let your arms go long. Coming into Shavasana. Final relaxation. Take as much time in your Shavasana as you'd like. Thank you for joining me for this Vinyasa for the core sheath. And I hope to see you all again in person soon. Thank you.